Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. It's the middle of September. It's that time where I take a look at my ink pens that are sitting in my pen case, so they're not in my current EDC. I take a look at them. The idea is, do I want to keep them inked up, or do I want to pop them into the pot and get them cleaned out? So the first one, this is from Jinho. This is the Jinho 992. Beautiful colouring. I love this green colour. Very nice. The cap does feel quite loose. I think somebody did say I put the wrong cap on it, but that is definitely a Jinho cap. It's a small pen. Does need to be posted. So we've got here a Jinho 992 with a fine nib. I love these 992s. I've got all the transparent colours. I think they're really nice. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Velvet Emerald. The price for this pen is $2.22. For the first three pens, I'm going to put the cents because they're under $10, so that cents can make a difference. But yeah, it's a nice pen, writes really well, comfortable to use. Yes, it's a bit on the thin side. I'm paying $2.22. Who really cares? But yeah, enjoy using it. As I say, I've got a number of these, and I try to always have one inked up, and this definitely staying inked up. We're sticking with Jinho. Here we've got the Jinho 82. This one's transparent. Let's turn this around. Nice. I love seeing through. Cartridge converter, just like that 992. Metal fittings, which is a shame because it'd be nice to if you could eyedropper this. You know, with this transparency. It would look really nice, ink sloshing around. I just don't want to risk it with metal fittings. Got the nib here. Again, standard Jinho nib. Small pen. This pen, very reminiscent of a Sailor Pro Gear Slim. If I post it though, it's nice and comfortable. It's easy to use. So we've got here a Jinho 82 with a medium nib. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Tempest. Feels very different writing than the previous one. This has got a lot more tactileness to it. The price for this pen, well, we're taking a big jump here. $6.14. Massive difference, isn't it? You know, for $6 again, you can't really go wrong. This one, going to keep it there, inked up. Up next, here we have, again from Jinho. This is the Jinho 80. This is in the white colour. On here, I've got a Jinho nib that it came with. My other Jinho 80, I've actually swapped the nib and I've got a Lamy nib on there. Cartridge converter, again, metal fittings. Do like this white colour. It's more of a cream to me. This pen can be quite easily used unposted. Very similar shape to a Lamy 2000. So we've got here a Jinho. Again, different writing experience again. This time it feels not quite like it's glass, but it does feel very slippy on the page with a fine nib. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Elf. And this pen, you're looking at $6.15, 1 cent dearer than the previous one. Again, I say, nice pen. Going to keep this one inked up. Coming up next, guess what? It's a Jinho pen. This is the first of my Dadao series pens. In fact, the next two are the other two Dadao series pens. This is the Jinho 9013. Very nice. Very similar colouring to what we were seeing here on the 992. I do like this green colour. Pen BBS have got a similar colour which they call Mojito, and really does describe it. With this one though, if we try and take a closer look, Let me get the focus down here, then I can show you better, hopefully. It's hard to get it into this little window. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. There's little sparkles there in the material. Reminds me a little bit of stars. Very nice. In here, we've got a converter. Now, I'm just going to fetch that 992. So the converter is slightly different than the standard Jinho pens. Looks like it's a little bit wider, but not by much. That's the problem with doing this. When you take them apart, you've got to put them back together. It does feel a bit on the short side. It posts not overly well because it only seems to post a little bit, maybe 2 centimeters down. But it feels solid, although there is a bit of a wobble there. So this is a Jinho 9013. The nib on this is a medium. The ink is by Diamine. And it's Appletini. Appletini, I don't know, we just had a little bit of a teeny. Let me check. Oh no, it's an I that it ends with. Price for this pen, 12 Aussie dollars. We're going to just use the dollar amount now. Yeah, it's quite nice. I say we just had a little bit of a issue there, so that's something I'm going to look at. It's another pen. Going to keep it inked up. I think all the pens will end up being left inked up. Next up, we've got a Jinho 9019. This is the big boy. This is the big brother of the others. This is more like a blue transparent colour. Very wide looking, isn't it? Again, here we've got the converter. This is that new larger converter. Let's pop this back on. Section extremely wide. The nib, number 8 size nib. Whereas on the 9013, that was a number 6. Quite a sizable nib. The whole pen though looks really well balanced with the big nib and the wide pen. So we've got here a Jinho 9019 with a medium nib. The ink is by Dominant Industry. And it's Lake. Price for this pen, again, it worked out at 12 Aussie dollars. Very nice, wider line than what I was seeing with that 9013. Again, this has got a little bit of tactileness to it, but it does still feel fairly smooth. As I say, not like writing on ice, not quite like a pencil, but getting towards that. So the last of the Dado pens, here we've got the 9016, so we've gone 396. Beautiful brown colour this, I really like the colour of this. Must have had some ink leakage because I can see some spots of ink there on the inside of the cap. Again, we've got here a cartridge converter. It looks like the same large converter that we see in the 9019. Not as wide, not as long, still nice and comfortable though. Again, you can post it. I don't need to though. The other change, here we've got a number 6 nib. So we've got here a Jinho 9016. Again, it's a medium nib. And the ink this time is by Diamine. And it's ochre. The price for this pen, 13 Aussie dollars. Most of my Chinese pens, they come from AliExpress, so the prices do vary quite a lot. What I try to do is, when I'm buying them, I try and find the cheapest I can. And sometimes you can't. And then obviously there's exchange rates which are happening and all that sort of fancy stuff. The prices I quote, I try to quote the price without postage. Sometimes it's not possible though. But anyway, that's the last of the Jinho pens for the day. Up next, we've got a Maron pen. This is the Maron S5. Transparent here, flat bottom, so it's possible, I won't do it today, but you can stand it, and I have done a number of times, stand it on there. This pen is eyedropper filled, so you unscrew the section and then using either an eyedropper, I personally use a blunt nose syringe, you put the ink into here. Section, I really don't like this, it's like this, I don't know, it's meant to be marble I think, but it just doesn't look right with the rest of the pen. Here we've got the nib. So this is a Maron S5 and the nib on here is a medium, although it writes to me more like a broad. The ink is by Octopus Fluids. And it's petrol axolotl. That's an awkward one to spell. Price for this pen, 37 Aussie dollars. The nib, very, very smooth. This is Rhodia paper. I've got to be honest, I really struggle with this. It's just, I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. I'll use it from time to time, but what I'm going to do with this one, that goes in the clean out pot. Oh, don't know if it comes over on the mic. We've got some birds in the tree outside having a good old fight. They seem to do that every morning. I think they're fighting for the best food. Let's move this up ever so slightly. Up next, we've got an Asvine pen. This is the Asvine P20. Beautiful colouring on this. The colouring, they call it Galaxy. Piston filling pen. We have here a little piston window. Not overly wide. I would like it maybe double the width, but it's usable. That material coming on down into the section. The section reminds me very much of a Leonardo Momento Zero, the old style section of those. And we've got a number 6 nib on here. So we've got the Asvine P20 with a medium nib. The ink is by Diamine and it's a ruby blues. Love this. It's a gorgeous ink, blue colour, and hopefully, I'm just trying to do this little scribble. It's got a nice red sheen to it. Hopefully that'll start coming out. The price for this pen is 43 Aussie dollars. Quite an enjoyable pen, quite nice to look at, nice and comfortable. As I said, the whole pen, to be honest, really does remind me of a Leonardo Momento Zero. Can we see any of that sheen coming through? Yeah, I can see it there where I did my scribble. And see a load of it on the writing as well, especially where I've got the word Asvine there. Not sure if it's coming over on the camera or not. Let's get that back lined up. So up next, from Wingsung, we've got a Wingsung 630. Beautiful pen. This was actually gifted to me. Very nice. Looks nice. Nice chunky feeling pen. Another one, piston filling. This one though, the ink window, just the right size for me there. I think that's really nice, although it's hard to see because there's a dark ink in here. Nice wide section. And another number 8 size nib. Gorgeous it is. So this is a Wingsung. I didn't want to start, but we got there in the end. A Wingsung 630 with a fine nib. The ink is by Diamine and it's mulled wine. I think this ink is a really nice match for this. Price for this pen, as I say, it was gifted to me, but to buy them now, you're looking at about 46 Aussie dollars. Very nice. I say, not overly hefty. You can post it. to me, makes it very long and very, very back heavy. I mean, it's just like trying to drop out of my hand, whereas unposted, it's really nice. So that's that Wingsung 630. I'm going to stick with Wingsung for the 699. This is their, I'm not going to say clone, but heavily inspired by the Pilot Custom 823. This one is a piston filling version. There's a piston filling version and there's a vacuum filling version. I have had both. The vacuum filling one, it broke. First time I used it and it broke. That's why I got the piston, and the piston one, really nice, not had any issues with it. Section, again, carrying on that same colour. And we've got that number 6 nib. So we've got here a Wingsung 699 with a medium nib. The ink, strangely enough, do you know, it's by Diamine. And it's a Ruby Blues. So similar to the ink in that Asvine. Cost for this pen, 46 Aussie dollars. Just had to double check in case I'd misread that, but yeah, 46, same as one above. I like this. I bought these because I wanted to know if I wanted to spend a lot of money on a Pilot Custom 823. These let me try it out because it was roughly the same shape and size. Loved it. Went ahead and got that 823. So that's the 699. Pen BBS now. This is a Pen BBS 323 in aluminium. This is called Latte. Very nice. I love the shape. It's very different, isn't it? The way it undulates as it's going along. It's aluminium, as I said. It's a cartridge converter. There we go. It's all metal. You wouldn't want to even think about eyedropper in this. Section, again, carrying on with that gorgeous aluminium. The nib is not the nib that came with it. Pen BBS seem to just do fine nibs. I'm not that keen on fine nibs. What I did is I've swapped it and I've put in a Goulet Yoho broad nib. So number 6 nib, dead easy to swap. Nice and comfortable in the hand. Doesn't post. You know, as soon as I do, it comes straight off, but unposted. It's got a nice length, nice width in that section. Fairly light, so it's like it disappears in the hand. So we've got here a pen. Let me just scribble over on my notepad. I don't know, didn't want to write out to give it a bit of a shade. Here we go though, we're now going Pen BBS 323 with a broad nib. The ink, it's by Diamine. And it's Pick Me Up. The price for this pen, 53 Aussie dollars. So this pen and ink, the ink very, very wet. The pen with that broad nib is also a wet writer. The ink, it's a scented ink and it's also got a beautiful green sheen. So let's pick it up, see if we can see that green sheen coming through already. Yes, certainly over here where we've got Pen BBS 323 written. You can see that beautiful green sheen. Again, I'm hoping the camera picks that up. It's really nice. Let's just get that lined up again. The last pen, under 100 Aussie dollars. The only non-Chinese one in this selection. This is from Pilot. It's the Pilot Prera. I've eyedroppered this. First time I've tried it. It's been like this about a month, and so far I've had no issues with any ink leakage. So what I did is put a bit of silicone grease around the threads, and yeah, it seems to be all right. Unposted, it's a bit short. This is like a pocket pen, but posted, got a nice length to it, nice and comfortable. It sometimes does feel a little bit back heavy though. So here we've got a Pilot Prera. It's got a Japanese medium nib. The ink is by Diamine. And it's a Tranquility. Beautiful ink colour. This pen, 76 Aussie dollars. Now, I know other countries it does come out a lot cheaper. We have to pay the Australia tax here, so it ends up being quite expensive. But still, it's a nice pen. It's a pen, when I first got it, I really didn't like it. But the more I use it, the more I really enjoy this pen. I think I might need to get myself some more with some different nibs though. So this is the Pilot Prera. Let's switch up now and we'll look at pens over 100 Aussie dollars. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. I've only got 3 pens over at $100 inked up at the moment. The first one, it's its first time appearing in the over $100. Up till now, it's been under $100, but I checked the price a couple of weeks ago and it's just gone over that limit. So this is a Nowall Schuylkill. This one is Chromis Teal. Piston filling pen. Got an ink window there. Not sure if it comes over on the camera, but you can see the ink sloshing around inside. Lovely colours of this. We've got blues, you've got browns. Section continues with that colour. Nice and comfortable in the hand. It will post, but onto the piston filling knob, so I wouldn't recommend posting this. It's quite enjoyable though. So we've got here a Nowall. As it says, Nowall Schuylkill. Now this is a medium nib, but it's a really generous medium. To me, it's writing towards the broad side of medium. The ink is by Herban, and it's Diablo Month. Price for this pen, I say it's now over $100. It's 102 Aussie dollars. I love my Schuylkills. I've got a couple of them. And again, these are pens I always try to have at least one of the 2 inked up at all times. We're going to take a price jump now for the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. This is in dark Hawaii. Lovely colouring. Love this. Very nice to look at. It's that spaghetti pattern. Piston filling pen. One of the downsides with this, no ink window, so you never know what your ink level is. The section, again, in that same material. This is where we got the, I call it now the old style of Leonardo section. I prefer this to the new one that they're using. My fingers just fit so nicely in there. Number 6 nib on this. So we've got a Leonardo. I'm going to abbreviate it to just MZG for Momento Zero Grande, and it's a medium nib. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Upon a Star. Very nice dark ink, goes well with this. Price wise, as I've already said, there's a jump in price to 377 Aussie dollars. My 3rd most expensive pen. Do like it though, it's really pretty, very comfortable to use. The only downside, as I've already said, no ink window. The final pen, massive jump in price again to my most expensive pen. This is a vacuum filling pen. It's from Visconti. It's a Homo sapiens, and it's the Dark Age. Beautiful pen. This material, this lav material, oh, so nice. It feels so nice in the hand. It's really cool feeling. The cap comes off with this hook mechanism, so you know you're only turning about 1/8 of a turn to take it on and off. Beautiful pen. In the hand, perfect length when it's unposted. You can post it. To me, it's very back heavy. This is a heavy pen anyway, and just too uncomfortable. So take that off, and you can see how tight it was on there. Got this beautiful, gorgeous 18 karat gold nib. So nice. So this is a Visconti Homo sapiens. With an 18 karat gold broad nib. Oh, so nice to write with. The ink by Diamine Fireside Snug. I love this combo. What I'm doing is, until that Fireside Snug ink has run out, it's the only ink I'm putting in here. Price for this pen, 1141. I know it's a massive amount of money. That's how much it is to buy it when I checked a couple of weeks ago. I didn't pay that much. When I bought this, it was on offer, so I got it for about 20% off. So that was the only reason, to be honest, that I felt like I could afford it. It's an expensive pen, but wow, is it worth it? It's a beauty. Let me just reposition this, and we can get all the pens hopefully in the camera. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What pens have you got inked up? Do you do something similar to this, where when you've got a load of pens inked up, you do a monthly check just to see which ones you feel like cleaning out? Why not drop a comment down below? Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.